Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today I'm taking a look at the Cartier Santos-Dumont. So this is a new release by Cartier at Baselworld 2019, and the whole point of the new Santos-Dumont collection was to kind of bring back the, classic proportions of the Santos, making it a little bit more of a dressier timepiece than the other recently released, the regular Santos, which is more of kind of in the style of a sports watch and is more modernly proportioned, and it's a bit larger, and so this one just kind of brings it back to, I guess, the classic proportions of a traditional dress watch, and the traditional Santos a bit better as well. You also see you do get the more dressy crown on this with the sapphire on the end instead of the kind of nut-shaped crown as well, so that just adds a little bit of more of a dressiness to this watch. And the bezel is a little bit different, where it's not nearly as large, it's thinner, it's sloped as you can see, and it just doesn't overpower the watch's polishing whatsoever anymore. So with regards to the dimensions of this timepiece, it's 43.5 millimeters by 31.4 millimeters. So this is not a large watch, and I know that's hard to tell with a square watch, just based off those dimensions, but this isn't going to be a large watch. It's definitely big enough for a men's watch if you're wearing it as a dress watch. Like, I think this would be great with the tux and for formal events, but it's not going to be a sports watch by all means. It's not nearly big enough, and you'll see that on the wrist shot. So now I'm going to go over, I'll just show you around the case a little bit. So you have brushing on both sides. You have a beveled edge going along the lugs, as you can see right there, and then of course you have the polished bezel with the inlaid screws there. You also, as I mentioned before, you have this sapphire decorative crown there as well. So on the dial, you get a silver sunray dial, very classy, very clean looking. You have Roman numerals going all the way around, and you can see they're in the Cartier style, where they kind of have that a little bit of Art Deco kind of stretch to them, and you also have very thin blued hands as well. So the movement of this timepiece, though, however, is quartz. They do not do an automatic version of this, which I really wish they did. I think it would have been fantastic to do an automatic, or even just a mechanical option for this timepiece. I think that would have just brought this watch up so many levels, and I really would have loved to see that. But they did just only do this with a quartz movement, which is something that I wish that they decided not to do instead. But so now let's do a wrist shot. So this watch has an alligator strap. As you can see, it's a blue alligator strap, and that matches the blued hands quite well, same with the sapphire and the crown. You also have just a classic pin buckle strap, as you can see right there. So on the wrist, you can see that the proportions are very conservative. It's extremely thin, and that has to do with the quartz movement as well. So it's going to be very, very thin. I don't know if they could have made it this thin with a mechanical movement, on the wrist, though, the size, so you can see it is a small watch. I have an above average wrist, about 7.5 inches, maybe a little larger than that actually, but you can see that it's very subtly proportioned, very small. It's not, it's not too small. You can definitely pull this off my wrist is quite large, and if I was wearing a tux, I could still probably pull this off. It'd be a bit small again, but no problems really. It's comfortable. The strap is very comfortable. You have smooth leather on the inside, and then the pin buckle clasp is just classic pin buckle. Does its job very nicely. So overall, this watch comes in at a price of $3,900 new. Now, in my opinion, that is pretty high for a quartz watch. I think the case finishing and everything about it is great. I don't see that price is being totally filled by this timepiece. I think if they did a mechanical movement, certainly that price would be fine, but I think $3,900 for a quartz watch, no matter how good the case finishing might be like this, I still think that's a bit high, and they should bring that price down. And I'd assume on the pre-owned market, you'll probably be able to find some at better deals, but So I think that the pricing's a bit ambitious for this. I think it'd still be fine. I mean, again, it is finished very nicely, but I think that the price would be a lot more justified if they did a mechanical or automatic movement. So I'd like to mention that this watch was provided to us by JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'll be leaving a link in the description to their website where you can find more about the watches they carry and inquire about purchasing this timepiece possibly. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.